BBC introducing unsigned, undiscovered, and under the radar music.
Hi, I'm Steve Burton-Shaw. I produce music under the name Mask, and I've been doing that for about 2 or 3 years. I started out looking for sort of microphones and stuff and found a lot of stuff was quite out of my price range, so started using my phone and picked up some old keyboards from some car boot sales.
The digital revolution has changed the world of music, enhancing the quality of sound recording and making it more accessible to many. With a wide option of softwares and cheaper technology, recording in the comfort of your own bedroom is now easier than ever before.
There's a lot of free sort of recording software out there. I think nowadays the internet gives you the opportunity to get your music out there to as many people as you can very cheaply without needing to burn CDs or cut vinyl. It's all quite instant. For my style of music, I probably wouldn't go down the route of hiring out a studio. I just don't feel I need to at this stage. I think the quality of my tracks is where it needs to be at the moment.
And now, the end is near.
I think with home recording, as if you're just a singer, you need someone else.
Jack Collett is a classical tenor. We met him on the first day of his professional recording at Purple Studios in Trowse, just outside Norwich.
Doing it in a studio, you get someone else's perspective on the music, whereas when you're doing it independently, sometimes personal opinion can come into it. You know, you can have too bigger opinion of yourself or too smaller opinion of yourself, and then you don't get the best result. So I always find it's best to use an impartial person just for solo singing recording.
I did it my way.
Home recording might not be for everybody, but what makes a professional studio the ideal place for the best quality recording? Sound engineer Andrew Gunn showed us around Purple Studios.
At the moment we are in the live room. It's about 37 metres squared, high wood panelled ceiling. If we just walk over this way, we've got the vocal booth, which as we walk into it you'll hear that it's completely dead. Brilliant for hip-hop and radio recordings and such like. Through here we have the control room.
A professional studio offers you the advantage of a bigger and treated room, the use of expensive equipment and the experience and independent advice of the sound engineer. But to make it worth the money, you need to be prepared.
You need to have good, reliable equipment when coming to the studio. Get everything serviced. Get your guitar intonation sorted out, your drums with new heads on and tuned. If you haven't got your own equipment that you think is good enough, borrow it from people. Rehearsing is the most important thing. You've got to be able to play your parts with none of the other members in the room, preferably to a click track. It makes the whole track sound a lot tighter, a lot more precise.
Recording in a professional studio has become more affordable, with prices ranging from £150 to £250 a day. But for some, the home recording experience still has these attractions, as it gives you full control over your music and time. For Will Vaughan, from band Crystal Bats, the perfect compromise was to set up his own studio. We visited a converted bar near Beccles in the Norfolk border.
This used to be an old milking barn, the actual whole building. Then this unit specifically was a wood turner's, I think. I started with a home studio, essentially, and then gradually, when I got more and more equipment, I realised I needed a bigger space. So I started looking for somewhere to rent and found this place, and then thinking about it more, I was like, well, I could then open that for business, and it sort of naturally progressed from there. And ever since it sort of grew and grew, and now it's a fully functioning recording studio. Having your own studio has its ups and downs, especially working on your own projects. Obviously I work with a lot of other bands here, but when working with Crystal Bats, it's literally just the two of us here with no external input at all, no other engineers or assistants or anything. And so it really depends on the band really, whether that works for them or not, because some people need an external source producer or just another engineer just to drive them in the right direction.
So you can go different ways to record your music, depending on your budget and the stage you're at. but just make sure you're well prepared and you feel comfortable with the result. Next time, we'll be looking at the different ways some of the local bands have been promoting their music.
BBC introducing Unsigned, Undiscovered, and Under the Radar Music.
Once you've recorded your first track, how do you go about promoting your music? We asked some of the up-and-coming players within and beyond the Norfolk music scene.
Hi, my name's Kingsley Harris. I'm a promoter in Norwich. I've been promoting since 1982, and since 2004 I've been running NR1 Records in Norwich. The industry has exploded now into lots of smaller ways to do things, so people can do things on their own. There's a lot of internet hookups where you can promote yourself and you don't actually need the involvement of a manager. If you're a bit savvy on the internet, you can do it via the internet.
Hi, my name's Hugh Scott Moncrief. I'm the drummer in the band The Diamond Noise. I am originally from Norfolk, but the band is based in London. Once we'd recorded our first proper EP and we had some real songs that we wanted to get out there, we put them online. People could listen to them for free. They could then download them. The first single was on sale for 79p on iTunes and a donation scheme on bandcamp.com. And the success of it was through the fan base we created in the first place through our live performances.
What we had was different from what was out there. So we didn't even for one moment think about getting a manager, agents, going to look for record labels. We just thought we want to do this DIY.
Cole is an hip-hop artist who got together with other like-minded talents to form quite a unique media company in Norwich.
Interim Records, it's innovative in the sense of that we've got so many things incorporated in one company. We've got the media side, Interim Studios, and then we've got our own management, PR, photography, artists, our own record studio, and we've got our own clothing line as well, Keep It 100.
They said it's too violent, but
Promoting your music is also about promoting your image, so building a network of contacts in other media fields might come very useful.
The best things for us has always been putting visuals with audio. So we have the gigs filmed and as quickly as possible turn it around to have some video footage of the gig put to the latest track or the latest demo or whatever feels right. And then seems to spread a lot quicker through YouTube and also Facebook and Twitter.
So, is there any point when a band needs a manager? We asked Kingsley Harris.
If you're looking much bigger and the people are starting to ring you about gigs and you're putting records out, I would say that is the time that you probably need to start looking for a manager, someone externally who can take care of that, let you concentrate on making the records and they can concentrate on the business side of it. You can do it all yourself. It's a lot of hard work. If there's someone out there that's really prepared to put it in, do the band and do the management, don't underestimate how much hard work it is.
Interim Records is about hard work. If you work hard, then you will get noticed. What we're doing is building a foundation. So if we do fall, which won't happen, we know where we came from, so we can build it up again any day.
Promoting your music is not just one-way road. You can rely on the power of the web, turn to the professionals, or do it all by yourself. It all depends on the level you're at and how much effort you want to put in. Next time, we'll be looking at whether being signed these days is getting any easier. The world of music has changed, and there are different ways of getting signed. But how do you know what is the best thing for your band?
I think that everyone wants someone to believe in them enough to invest a lot of money, but the big deal isn't always the best thing for bands. You'll have bands that suddenly get signed and they're on a 5-single, 1-album deal or a 5-album deal, and the second that they get in the studio, the label wants them to do something that they don't want to do.
Kingsley Kingsley Harris has been in the music business for over 20 years and now runs NR1 Records in Norwich.
You have to make your mind up, I think, very early on as to where you want to go with this. If the only route is we want a major and we want nothing but a major, you've got to think slightly differently to if I'm up here making music that I want to make and I want to promote it the way I want to promote it, because the chances are, unless you do make a really good job of your self-promotion, that no one is going to take you on, because obviously there's no scope there for a commercial adventure with anybody.
Hello, my name's Ed and I'm from the band Cakes and Ale.
And I'm Bertie.
As we're a band that's more of a collective of artists, including visual artists and musicians spread over the world, the music industry isn't really designed to incorporate what we do, so we concentrate more on trying to put the music out ourselves, DIY style, tour on our own terms and to our own plans.
We're not in it for the money, we're in it because we enjoy making music together and having this kind of creative platform. So if someone wants to pay us for what we do, then that's great, but we're not going to change what we do so we can get paid, basically.
You can do it yourself, you can. I think the difference is if you're signing to someone, you're giving up some artistic control. If you're doing it yourself, you don't answer to anyone, but obviously you then do have to work really hard in trying to hit your target audience and actually sort of bring yourself, what they call it, above the parapet and to be seen.
My name is John Best and I manage Sigur Ros and Fanfarlo. If I were a young band starting out now, I would avoid signing a record deal. I would use one of the many platforms such as Bandcamp or Topspin to promote my releases. I would bust a gut to make a fantastic video that I would load up to YouTube. I would set up a website where I would put footage of myself performing live. I would tweet. I would use Facebook. I would make sure my music was available on Spotify. If you're lucky enough to get a platform through being seen online, then your music can be used in television shows, in movies, in advertising. For instance, Fanfarlo we used in Twilight. That is a major success for a pretty much unknown band.
And if you do manage to sign a deal, how do you keep riding the wave of success? We asked Craig Hill, who's been managing the Cabidis and These Ghosts, who are both signed to independent labels.
With a deal comes more hard work. It starts with the songs and it will always be about the songs. Then you need to continue to improve as a band, working on those songs so that A, when you take them to the studio, they can be recorded in the best way possible. And secondly, the live show must be absolutely out of this world. You'll need to continually get noticed, so you need to work on your social media, write great songs, play them well, record them well, have a great show and get noticed.